Yeah, I'm just seeing a message as well. I'm glad that you are interested in the notion of paradigm shift to a circular economy, sustainable resource usage, and fashion, but we can talk about anything related to efficient use of resources, not only fashion, but it depends on everyone's interest. So we have only 20 minutes left, so I suggest that we move forward. So the moderator, so if you can, everyone can present themselves and their interests briefly. Paulina, I suggest that you comment. You start.
Yeah, so I'm the student, I guess, like assistant for this room. I'm a sophomore studying industrial and operations engineering, and I'm in Michigan right now. And I'm particularly interested in just anything else to do with like effective resource usage, sustainable development. So over the past year, I've been working on a literature review for evaluating like integrated conservation and development projects. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Well, I suggest the other participants to ask for permission. Since we are only 9 in this room, we can, everyone can have access and speak. So if you, yes, fantastic, Kay. Welcome, Kay.
Hello, everyone. So, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's loud enough. Okay, perfect. So I'm a research associate at Darmstadt's University of Technology. And I'm in this workshop because I'm engaged in the additive manufacturing. And I believe that this decentralized toolless technology can bring about great challenges on site. And so I'm here to learn about the current developments and how these technologies can help.
Decentralized technologies, right? Like blockchains, for example.
Yeah, and yeah, we see the first possibilities of recycling some filaments. This already exists, but I think furthermore, the resources at the beginning of the production process should already be chosen more sustainably.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Kay. Robert, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm your helper for this main workshop. And I'm just saying that if you need any help, please text me in the main workshop session. I think you can take care of this breakout room on your own now. I think you're familiar with the hopping surroundings and environment. So please have a nice session.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate your support. Bye. If anyone else wants to join the room, you can do as Kay is doing, just like sharing the voice and not the cam. I think it doesn't take too much data or can resolve connectivity issues this way. It's very open to discussion. Okay, while we can wait for the people to connect. So I should help the group decide who will present and who will make notes for the presentation. So, I suppose, Paulina, you can pick the notes.
Hello.
And Kay, yeah, hi, Susan. Thank you for joining.
You're not hearing me?
We are.
You are? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Hi.
Hi. So, Susan, we are about to decide who will make the presentation. So, Kay, Kay or Paulina, do you want to make the presentation, or do you want me to do it for the group after our discussion?
I'm going to be taking notes, but if you want, I can also present. Are we supposed to have like a PowerPoint, or is it just like talking about it at the end?
I think we are short in timing, so it's okay if we don't have a PowerPoint, just going the main discussion.
Yeah, I can just, if you want me to, I can present our information at the end.
That would be great. Thank you. So everyone has a chance to participate. So identify common interests that you have in your team. So it's only 4 of us, since maybe the others have connectivity issues. So really don't hesitate to join and share your perspective. Yes, Julia, welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Absolutely, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the first time I tried to share. It didn't work. My whole computer just shut down basically.
Oh, shame.
Hi. So my name is Julia, and I'm a engineering student at KTH Stockholm. I'm a student of Susan's here, and I am writing my master's thesis right now in social innovation. I have a background in mechanical engineering and a master's in innovation management and product development.
Okay.
So I'm almost here to listen to you guys, but very fun.
Oh, please join the conversation. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Julia. You're leading by example, showing how to participate. We appreciate. While we leave the opportunity for others to connect as well, maybe we should start by identifying common interests that we have. So, which interests should we cover? So in my case, in terms of design, I really think that the circular economy is really highlighting a lot of challenges in terms of conception from design to the project. So what type of material do we include from the start, but also think throughout the different stages of the life of the product. And that includes what Kay was referring to in terms of recycling. How do we either maintain some products in use through making them more robust or more easier to repair, for example, but when they are at the end of their lives, how do you close the loop so that we can recycle all the product or some of the components of the product? This might be fiber, this might be metal, depending on what type of product we are discussing. This is how I see contribution for sustainable design, for example. Okay, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. Because in my research, I developed an approach for functional integration, and you can use this, also to reduce the material consumption within this process. So I think it's the classic design possibilities of additive manufacturing. But I think as soon as the filaments are also made available, so you have sustainable materials, you can improve the entire chain, because additive manufacturing is I think it has had a problem that many think it's a huge waste of materials and especially resources of our planet, because you need much oil to produce these filaments and other energy. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So I see that Emmanuel is trying to connect as well, but has issues. So Emmanuel, if you can hear me, please go back to the main room and ask Robert for some support. Because he is able to do it. I'm not able, I don't know. I think we are not used to use this type of platform.
No.
Okay, thanks, Kay. Yeah, it's very interesting how to increase functional integration, reduce material consumption, among others. Paulina, do you want to share your interest based on what we highlighted so far?
Yes, so I think like one thing that I find really interesting is the idea of a circular economy. Like I think how can we practically implement it? Because for example, like I'll go back to the example of fashion because that's where I'm most like I guess I understand that subject more. Like fast fashion is just it's so easy to have like a linear economy where things are disposed of because it's so cheap. So like what are the steps that we need to take in order to make all these materials actually cost effective and practical to implement, I guess. Like in terms of like the whole manufacturing process and how do we make that entire process cheaper, that a circular economy is actually feasible, I guess.
Excellent. And what you just say made me think about the importance of circular economy from an environmental perspective, but also from a social perspective. Because also we know that the workers who are from fiber production to manufacturing are really also working in very difficult conditions, and the way the products and the toxins they work with really affect their own health and the health of the communities as well. So this is very important to also highlight the social consequences of a type of organizing. Thank you. Julia, do you want to share your insights?
Sure. I agree with what you all are saying. It's and this is very interesting. One point I was thinking about is like the routines of people's lives and how that's an important factor to take in, like with circular economy, that you can always like implement a business of it, but you need people on board. And who are the end customers to start with and so forth. And I think that's a difficult issue with this, to make people buy or have circular lifestyle more than a linear. And I think just from like my own life and my surroundings, like that people foremost buy new clothes, for example, or are very interested in fashion that is very linear, and just that it's difficult how to get people to change that.
No, I fully agree. Susan, do you wanna compliment what Julia?
I would like to build on that what Julia said and connect it then to circular. That working with the behaviors is crucial, and we have actually I have a PhD student that is actually designing, like it's called, like he calls it designerly living labs, where we actually try to stimulate people to change their behaviors. For instance, we had a project like a few years ago where we actually removed the car from 3 families, of course voluntarily families, but for a whole year the car was removed, and then we researched around, what kind of changes did it result in, and so on. So these kind of real life stimulation, so to speak, or provocation maybe even is one way, I believe could be one way to try to see how to actually do this, what kind of affects the change of the behaviors. And I'm also interested in what might what you also refer to, Kai, when it comes to these additive manufacturing technologies, because I think that's kind of a technology in itself that is really interesting, since you could, and I don't know, I would really like your reflection there, but I think the potential there is really, how could you actually distribute the manufacturing and have reducing the number of transports, etc., all these kind of extra efforts that is also part of a certain or linear whatever, and I think the potential in that kind of technology, I assume, could be quite high. Or continent like Africa, where you have so many different resources, material resources, and the need for bringing up the value for what you actually produce, and then still, so you could actually locally produce high value goods. I think that's really interesting, but at the same time, how to keep the circularity, so to speak. Yeah, I think that's interesting.
Excellent. Thank you. I see that Robert just entered the session. So Robert, we had a question from Emmanuel who wanted to join the room, but he couldn't do it.
Hello. Yeah, I contacted him, but I don't know have you seen my my message. So one of the main reasons when the share is not working, so I'm meaning audio and video share, is if in your browser left of your address icon in Chrome, it's like a lock icon. There you have to make sure that camera and audio is allowed. If it's not allowed in your browser, then you're not able to share. For most of the people, it's allowed automatically by default, but for some people, it's not allowed, and you have to make sure to check it. I hope Emmanuel heard me. I also messaged him directly about this problem, so that's all I can help right now.
Fair enough. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Challenges of a new platform. Yeah, so what you said doesn't really rely on what in terms of access and being locally embedded as well, right? So designing, not only designing solutions that would be might be universal, but also something that is usable locally and adapted by communities as well. Because if you design a process or technology that is very foreign from the living experience of communities, the rate of adoption might stay very low as well. So it's really the question of designing a technology that might be very, how would you say, transferable and adaptable as well to local context.
Definitely, yeah.
Just let me check the notes as well in terms of, so we might also consider discussing ideas on how to collaborate. So how do you want to use the ICED 2021 and the forthcoming special issue in Design Science Journal? So if we have a few students or PhD students as well, maybe you might consider writing some articles or a proposal for this special issue. We also have a faculty member for the GSB at UCT who was working on that, was one of the editors. So it's very important that we bring your voices and our voices in this type of academic outcomes, I think. So would that be of interest for one of you?
Yeah, I'm actually curious to learn more about, I guess, anyone here who's doing research projects, what kinds of things you guys are doing. And if you know of opportunities for just collaboration and things like that, in terms of what we're discussing right now.
Yeah, it might be a nice platform for collaborating as well. If you are looking for co-authors, this type of conferences is it's a very nice way to meet new people and collaborate with them. Mm-hmm. Any other idea, Kay or Julia, might consider either for the conference coming or for the special issue?
Yeah. At the moment, I'm planning a paper for the ISET, and I would like to broaden the approach for the functional integration. So I think one aspect is to reduce the parts of a product using the potentials of functional integration. And yeah, I would be grateful for an example, maybe which meets the aspect of functional integration with the potential of sustainability. I think this is a challenge we have to face together, and I think this decentralized approach is much more acceptable to provide instead of providing huge logistics. So and with such an example, I think it's a little step in the right direction. Just to show how you can use these potentials in a sustainable way, just instead of using the potentials for better performing products, which aren't really sustainable.
Excellent. We have only 2 minutes left. Julia, do you want to share your perspective as well?
I don't really know what to add on this. Sorry, but it's very interesting what the others have said, and
yeah, you could also add maybe that we are collaborating around social entrepreneurship and frugal innovation, which is one aspect of trying to see how different technologies, and you have an interest in, Julia, in understanding the inclusiveness and or the usefulness of new technologies when it comes to resource scarce environments. And I think that's kind of a really interesting perspective in this thing.
yeah, absolutely.
So that would be also interesting if other people are interested in that aspect.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was like very focused on what we were talking on before.
Yeah, I just broadened it a bit.
But yeah. So I'm very focused on the social part. But of course, that can be a part of it too. And it's always important to be sustainable, both socially or environmentally or materialistic. So for all these parts to be collaborative, or like that we can collaborate in.
Did I understand you, Paulina? So you are a PhD student right now?
Me?
No?
I'm in my second year of university.
Sorry.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Undergrad.
Yeah, great. So we have really tried to encourage students to join.
It's very important to have the new generation of, and include every aspect. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think we're out of time because it's 4:46. So maybe we can join the main session. What do you think, Susan?
And I don't know if you just leave. Do we just?
Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. I think we had a very interesting conversation and some ideas. So Paulina, as we agreed on, you don't mind sharing some of the main outputs of our discussion. It was very nice, and hopefully we can continue the conversation for the next steps. Okay. See you in the main room.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.